All right, so now I'm going to go try to get us on Facebook Live. Hopefully this is going to work, because it doesn't always. So just hang tight. All right, it looks like it's working. All right, we are live. Hi.
Hi.
So my name is Meryl Hayton, and this is EFT Tuesdays. And I do come here every Tuesday in order to show you a sampling of EFT tapping. And I happen to pick chronic stress, not even really thinking that it was election night. So, so I'm a transformational life coach and EFT practitioner, intuitive guide, and energy healer. And tonight I have Kerry with me. Thank you for joining me. And we're going to tap together so that you can actually see what it's really like live working with someone. Because usually when I'm on here, it's just me, showing you what to do, and there really isn't any interaction. And I wanted you to be able to, get a good picture of what it seems like, feels like, to really work with someone. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about chronic stress and what it does to your body. So we all have stress, and some stress is good stress, right? Planning a wedding or, big birthday party, something like that. It can be stressful, or moving, right? It can be stressful, but it's exciting also. So those are good stressors, and we need those things in our lives in order to gauge what is, what is a good stress and what is a not so good stress, right? So, where are you going, Kerry?
Get a tissue.
Oh,
Sorry. Keep
oh.
talking.
Well,
I put it in the chat box.
oh yeah, but I'm not.
Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, you could have muted yourself.
Sorry.
Do that,
Oh,
but
right.
all right.
Okay.
So chronic stress. So when we are constantly in the state of chronic stress, meaning you're overthinking all the time, you're having trouble sleeping, you're avoiding your feelings, you're reaching for cravings, and cravings could be that you want to crave exercise, like a lot of exercise, right? Or you're obsessive about something. And it's just to kind of cover up having to deal with something, right? So, so when you're in this chronic state, what happens to your nervous system, right? So our bodies don't really know the difference between a real threat, like seeing a bear as you're hiking through the woods or something like that, and chronic negative thoughts, right? Chronic stress, chronic overthinking, chronic pain. Because when you're in those states, our nervous system turns on, sympathetic nervous system turns on, and it fires these signals for our bodies to either fight back, flight, run away, right? Flee, flop could be another one where you just like want to flop on the couch, or freeze, where you just, right, are just numb. You can't do anything. So when we're in this chronic state, this can happen, right, in our bodies. And what happens is it lowers our energy, it depletes our energy, it makes us feel sluggish, it makes us feel depressed, it makes us feel anxious. And if we're not sleeping right or taking care of ourselves, then our health starts to suffer. We don't know how to necessarily communicate properly in our relationships because we're just so overwhelmed with our stresses, right? And all of that lowers our immune system. And we don't need that now at this time with COVID going on, right? So that's just a little bit of a background about how chronic stress affects our bodies and how it's not healthy to have that going on. So what EFT tapping does, which it means emotional freedom technique, is it dismantles the emotional triggers that you have to stressors, chronic stressors in your life. They could be issues from your past and you're constantly triggered all the time from issues in your past. They could be worrying about your future, and it's hard for you to really stay grounded and present in your body. So when EFT is dismantling these triggers, then you start to have more inner peace, more ease. You start to be able to manage your stress in a much healthier, balanced way. And then what happens is you feel happier, you have more joy in your life, there's more space in your mind to create other things that you want. So because you're not so bogged down by all of these stressors, right? So your relationships improve because your relationship with yourself is better, so it's better with other people. And your health improves, your mindset improves, your mood improves. It's just win-win, right? So we are going to do some tapping together and show you how it all works. All right? How you doing, Carrie? You all settled in? Oh, I think you muted yourself. Now you muted yourself.
Probably not, but
There you go. Okay. So if you're watching, you're going to sit back in your seat comfortably, and you're going to close your eyes, and I'm going to guide you through this whole process. You're going to take a deep breath in, big sigh out. All right, and keeping your eyes closed, I just want you to feel into the stress that you have going on in your life. So if you're watching, this can be used for anything, but tonight we happen to be talking about the election and the stress that's going on with the election. So, all right, so Carrie, what level is your stress at right now on a scale of 1 to 10?
I think maybe 6,
6?
maybe 7, 6, 7.
All right, I usually go with the higher number if someone isn't
Okay.
sure. Okay, so if you're at home, you want to create a baseline for where you're at. Maybe jot it down on a piece of paper, or you can remember in your head. 10 being the worst, 0 being the least. What is your stress level about your issue, whatever it is, right now? Okay, so Carrie, do you want to talk a little bit about what your stress is, or do we just want to use a blanket statement of my stress? And you don't even have to talk at all about what it is.
Yeah, just this election, it triggers a lot for me of the
Yeah.
past.
Oh, there's a lot of triggers.
Okay.
And
Okay.
as they say, everything is really about the past, it seems anyhow. So, or
Well, your
most
triggers are.
your fears, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's fear. Okay.
Yeah, I guess it is fears.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So I'll go quickly through what the tapping points are. It's the side of the hand, and you just can tap with the other 4 fingers. Right. And then we would go to the top of the head. It's right where, if you drew a line from your ears to the top of the head, that's the spot right there. Right. Some people do both hands. I'm just a one-hander. Right. And then inside the eyebrows, it's just 2 fingers right inside the eyebrows. And again, it can be both hands, but
You
I'm
mean under the eyebrows?
in between.
Oh, in that spot in between.
In
Oh.
between. Yep. And then outside the eyes on the temples. Again, it can be both or just one hand. It's just very gentle tapping, nothing crazy. Under the eyes,
In
under
the
the nose,
middle?
just right under the eye.
Okay.
Yep. Under the nose. Your screen is freezing a little. Yep. On the chin. Right where the chin starts to go in. Right on the chin. All right, and then you'll find your collarbone. It doesn't have to be under your clothes. I just happen to have a shirt that is exposing it, and then the skin underneath the collarbone. It can be all 4 fingers under the collarbone. Or I do one hand and I just open it kind of like a cup and I get both sides right in the middle. Okay. And then
Under the collarbone, right? Under it.
under the collarbone. Yep. And then under the arm is where the breastbone meets your ribs, under the arm there.
With the
And if you can't reach around, it doesn't matter. You can do it this way too. Doesn't matter what hand you use. All right. So those are the tapping points, right? And what you're doing is you're tapping on Chinese meridian points, just like an acupuncturist would use needles. We're just using our fingers to tap. And this is helping to shift your subconscious mind, shift the energy in your body. Even if I wake up with just like a headache in the morning, I can do like a round or 2 of tapping, headache's gone. If I have low energy, I can increase my energy. If my heart rate is a little pounding, maybe I'm a little anxious about something, a few rounds of tapping brings it right down. And you can simply, if you're driving somewhere and you're feeling anxious, you can simply just tap on this point here. You don't have to go through all of it, but you can simply just tap on the under collarbone point. It's very soothing.
Does it matter which side you're doing?
Nope, doesn't matter. You can switch hands if you're driving, right?
Right.
Yeah, doesn't matter. And then there are also some finger points. Like if you're in public and you really don't want to be, doing this in public, you can also do finger points. So it's the outside of the thumb, right? Outside of the pointer. And you could just pick one finger or do them all outside of.
Are you just doing the tip or you're doing the whole finger?
I'm doing the outside right here where the skin meets the nail bed. Right, you actually skip the ring finger and go right to the pinky, but it doesn't matter. The tapping itself will just help to have you focus and bring in some clarity. So those are just some things that you can do that are quick to help to shift your energy. All right. So back to Kerry. We're back at a number 7. So now we need to create a setup phrase, and we're going to tap here on the side of our hand, and Kerry's going to do it with me. And we're going to create the setup phrase together. And I want it to sound and resonate with you, Kerry. Okay. So even though I have this stress about the election,
Even though I have the stress about the election.
That sounds right, right?
Hmm.
And it's at a level 7.
And it's at a level 7.
Okay, we need to create a acceptance phrase for this. So it could be, I choose to accept what's happening right now. I acknowledge what's happening. I'm okay with what's happening. How do you feel?
I have no control over what's happening.
I have no control over what's happening.
Is that okay?
Well, we will, that's what is your acceptance phrase. So that's what you can use, right? So you can set up whatever acceptance phrase you want, and it might change. So we say it 2 more times and you'll repeat after me. Even though I have this stress about the election
Even though I have this stress about the election
and it's at a 7,
and it's at a 7,
I have no control over what's happening.
I have no control over what's happening.
One more time. Even though I have the stress about the election
Even though I have this stress about the election
and it's at a 7,
and it's at a 7,
I have no control over what's happening.
I have no control over what's happening.
All right. Now we move to the other points, top of the head. And you repeat after me. Right? All this stress.
All the stress,
Inside the eyebrows. All this stress.
All this stress
It's at a 7.
is at a 7.
Your screen froze.
Yeah. Okay. So I went to the, okay.
Outer eyes. All this stress about the election.
All the stress about the election,
Good. Under the eyes. It's at a 7.
it's at a 7.
Under the nose. All this stress.
All the stress,
On the chin. All the stress about the election.
all the stress about the election,
At a 7.
at a 7.
Under the collarbone. All this stress.
All the stress, it's at a 7. I'll say,
And under the arm. All this stress about the election.
all the stress about the election.
Okay. Just release. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And just stay there for a moment and tell me how you feel. Do you feel like your number has gone up, down?
I feel like it went down a little.
What do you think you're at now?
I feel it like right in here.
What number do you think you're at?
4,
Oh, nice.
5? I'm not sure, but I feel this like almost like a opening in my chest.
So do you feel before we started that you had tightness in your chest?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
I
Okay,
was feeling it here.
okay,
Right.
that's great awareness. Okay, open in your chest. Nice. All right, so we're going to do another round. So at home, if you're watching, you're doing the same thing that we're doing. Do you feel any sensations in your body? Just noticing it. And with each round, you hope that, these feelings in your body are going to go away. I mean, they always do when I'm tapping, but everybody's different, So we're going to go back to the side of the hand here. And we're going to say, I still have this remaining stress about the election.
I
Right?
still have this remaining stress about the election.
That feels good to you to say that?
Yeah.
Because you can change it.
I'm still stressed about the election.
Okay. And it's out of 5.
It's out of 5.
But I do feel a little more open in my chest.
But I do feel a little bit more open in my chest.
Good. And the acceptance part is the same. I have no control over what's happening, or do you want to change it? I accept what's happening.
I have no control over what's happening.
All right. 2 more times. I have this remaining stress
I'm still stressed out.
Okay, I'm still stressed about the election.
I'm still stressed about the election.
All right, it's out of 5.
It's out of 5.
All right, my number has gone down
My number has gone down,
and I feel more open in my chest.
and I feel more open in my chest,
Good. And I have no control over what's happening.
and I have no control over what's happening.
Good. One more time. Even though I'm still stressed about the election.
Even though I'm still stressed about the election,
And it's out of 5.
and it's out of 5.
Good. Take deep breaths if you need to. Yep. I have no control over what's happening.
I have no control over what's happening.
Good. And then we'll switch to top of the head. Yep. I still feel stressed.
I still feel stressed.
Good. Inside the eyebrows. Still stressed.
Still stressed.
Outside the eyes. It's out of 5.
It's out of 5.
Underneath the eyes. But I do feel less stress.
But I do feel less stressed.
Under the nose. I'm more open in my chest.
I'm more open in my chest.
Good. And on the chin. Still have some stress about the election.
I still have stress about the election.
Under the collarbone. It's out of 5.
It's out of 5.
And under the arm, this remaining stress.
What?
This remaining stress.
This remaining stress.
Yep. And release. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. It's really important when we're doing energy work to drink a lot of water, either while you're doing it. Make sure you drink a lot of water after. It helps to move the energy. All right. And tell me how you're feeling now after the second round. Has your number gone down more? What's happening?
Yeah, I think it's like my head still feels, but my body's feeling less stressed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like my mind is still caught up in it seems, but then my body feels a little like it's releasing or relaxing more.
Right. Your nervous system is calming down.
Right.
Good. So has your 5 gone down at all?
I think so. I think it's like a 4.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do another round of this remaining stress.
Okay.
Okay. We're just going to do one setup phrase here because it's the same subject, and one setup phrase I feel is enough. So even though I have this remaining stress,
Even though I have this remaining stress,
it's out of 4.
it's out of 4.
Good. I have no control over what's happening. You still want to stay with that?
Yeah, I have no control over what's happening.
Okay. All right. Go right to the top of the head. This remaining stress.
This remaining stress.
Good. And inside the eyebrows, this remaining stress.
This remaining stress.
Outside the eyes, still at a 4.
Still at a 4.
Under the eyes, this remaining stress, still at a 4.
Stress is still at a 4.
Good. Under the nose, this remaining stress.
Remaining stress.
Nice. On the chin, this remaining stress.
This remaining stress.
Still at a 4.
Still at a 4.
Good. Under the collarbone, breaths if you need it. Good. This remaining stress, still at a 4.
This remaining stress is still at a 4.
And under the arm, this remaining stress.
It's remaining stress.
Good. And release. So just close your eyes and just check in again and see how you're feeling.
I think it feels more open.
Has your 4 gone down?
I feel like, yeah. Maybe like 2.5.
Nice.
2. I don't know.
Okay. I always go with the higher number, like I said, so I'll say 2.5. All right, so at this point, I usually do some energy healing to get you down to 0. So it's kind of like a guided meditation, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So there's no tapping. You just close your eyes and listen. Okay, how does that sound?
Sounds great.
All right. So close your eyes. Right, and just for a moment, you're going to bring in this stress at a 2.5. Just notice where your body is at. Notice the shift that has already happened in just 3 rounds of tapping. And now I want you to shift your thoughts and bring in a loving moment. So it's with your kids, your pet, anything that is just going to warm your heart, warm up your insides, make you smile on the inside, maybe even really do smile. Right, and just nod when you have it. Okay, so stay with that. Excuse me, I just had a coughing fit. I muted myself though. Okay, so now I want you to imagine from high up above, if you believe in a higher power, this will come from your higher power, whatever that means, the sun, the moon, a divine source, it doesn't matter. And they're shining a healing light, and it's coming down through the crown of your head. Right? You can give the healing light a color if you'd like. And you're going to bring it in through the crown of your head and let it shine down. Picture it coming through your head to your shoulders, right down your arms to your hands, down your body, the front of the body, the back of the body, down your legs to your feet. Right, and you're marrying it together with this loving moment that you had. And this is creating a healing vortex for you. All right, and this healing vortex, you can use it to encapsulate where you're feeling stressed. It could be your entire body. It could be just your chest. Maybe it's your head and your chest. It's however you imagine it. Doesn't matter. And you're just imagining this healing light and loving moment. It's helping to bring your 2.5 down to 0. Just relaxing. It's bringing in peace and calming feelings. It is cleaning and cleansing all of your cells, your organs, your soft tissue, down to the cellular level. It is healing your unconscious mind and your subconscious. Helping you to detach completely to the stress that you have. so that you can live with emotional balance, peace, joy, wisdom, knowing who you are, feeling grounded. So just relax, let your breath soften, let your body go limp. And open your heart, because I'm going to be sending you some of my own healing energy as well. I do it the same way. I imagine my loving moment. I bring in my own healing light from my source. I bring it into my heart, and I send it directly to yours. Just relax and receive. All right. There's no rush, but when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
I felt something when you did that in my heart. I felt like something.
My whole body, I mean, if you look back at the video, my whole body, I get like a shiver when it happens, like a shift, a whole energy shift and everything. So that's how I know that the energy has come in, and I was sending it to you. So it's amazing that you felt it.
I felt like a little warm. I don't know if it was warm or I don't know. It was like a shape, like a circle.
Okay.
Is that part of the tapping, that thing at the end you just did?
That's my thing.
Oh, okay.
That's my special.
Is that from some particular no.
I have studied for the last 3 years with a few different practitioners, and I've just put together my own way of doing it, you know? So that's what I offer. So how do you feel now?
I feel really good. I feel a little noise in my head, but it feels kind of distant.
Yes.
You know?
I always explain it as when I'm tapping on an issue, it's usually right here in the front of my brain, right? And then as I tap, it starts to go further and further and further and further and further. And then when it gets back here, I'm like, I can't even put it together anymore.
Yeah, like it's like it's like barely like hanging on kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and I just feel like much more relaxed through my whole chest area, which is you know, part of where I hold my stress, you know, in my chest.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you, Meryl. I'm like, what is your name again? No, really, thank you so much. This was really a gift. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And can I ask you a question about, so it doesn't matter that you tap on both sides?
No.
No. Because I'm always like, more is better.
some people say, oh, some people do believe both hands are going to be like getting the job done faster or something like
Yeah.
that. So it's whatever you think.
Oh,
Some
okay.
people use their dominant hand and go through it. You know, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But for the sake of just ending the video, I'm just going to say, if you would like to experience what Kerry experienced tonight on any issue that you have, please reach out to me. You can find me on merylhayton.com is my website. And I offer 1 hour free discovery calls to see if we're a fit to work together. Obviously, you can follow me here. I'm here every Tuesday for a different theme, but next week it's going to be stress for after the election. I'm telling you that right now, because I know that's what it's going to be. Okay. So if you have any comments or any questions, please feel free to comment below. If you want it to be private, just send me a private message. Okay. So have an awesome night. Try not to be too stressed about what's happening in the world. See if you can detach yourself from it so that you can stay healthier. Have an amazing night, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you again, Meryl.
So don't you go anywhere.
Oh, okay, no.
I'm just going to end our live. Okay. And